Welcome to a new series that I'm going to be doing here on my YouTube channel, where I talk about all of the books that I interacted with during the previous month. I want to talk about the 6 books that I read this month, and also the books that I'm added to my collection this month, and the few that are leaving my collection, and maybe even some of my reading plans for February. If you want even more like bookish content, reviews, recommendations, funny random little skit things, then make sure that you're following me on Bookstagram and BookTok at Sarah Gales Books. The first book that I read in 2023 was Everything by Nicola Yoon. I picked this up as a second-hand book a couple of years ago now. I've been really enjoying reading like romance books, so I was quite excited to read this. I read this really quickly. Like, I think I read it in like 3 days. It's so easy to read. There are just like half pages of like emptiness in it, so there's actually just not that many words per page. It's a young adult romance between Maddie and Ollie. Madeline is apparently got an illness, which means that she's essentially allergic to the world, and so has grown up within the 4 walls of her house, which is sterile and perfectly clean, and all the air is filtered and everything. And then Ollie moves in next door, and he is everything opposite to what she knows, and his family life isn't necessarily all that great. They end up communicating online, through email, through instant chats, and they form a friendship and a bit of a romance as well. That's all I'm gonna say about the plot, because anything more I say is possibly gonna ruin it, and I am not one to offer spoilers. It's a decent read if you want something easy and lighthearted with some kind of slightly more deeper moments and a whole theme of discovering yourself. This is a good option. I have not read any other of Nicola Yoon's books before, but I'm definitely intending to. I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars. I did, immediately after finishing this, watch the movie, which is currently available on Apple TV. I have opinions. The book is better than the movie, which is so sad, but so happens so often, right? Like, things wrong even in just like the characteristics of Maddie and Ollie in the movie were just wrong, and the movie could have been much better. Do I think that this is a book within this genre that was the correct choice for being adapted into a movie? Not really. I don't think this is a story that benefited from being made into a movie. I think there are definitely other books out there that haven't been made into a movie that would have benefited way more than this one. The next 4 books, some people might classify as a bit of a cheat in my calculation of 6 books that I've read this month so far, because they're all rereads. Like, I've already read them 4 times prior to reading them, but you know what, they're comfort reads and I just had the urge. So I've reread Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and also Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I read these like incredibly fast, but this is my 5th time reading them, so like they're really easy for me to read. Am I gonna finish reading the last 3? Yes, of course I am. Don't be ridiculous. I don't feel that I can ever accurately review a reread of a book, because I feel like a review and your opinion of a book is far more honest and far more true the first time around that you've read it. 5th time around reading, I think we all know what my feelings are about a book that I've read that many times. But yeah, literally just a comfort read. These have brought me so much joy in rereading. This wasn't planned. This wasn't what I intended to read this month at all. That book is still sitting over there, but who cares? Just read what brings you joy. Read the things that make you happy. That's where we're at. And my last book of January, I literally just finished like half an hour ago now, and it has left me reeling. It was These Infinite Threads by Tahiri Murphy, which is the 2nd book in the This Woven Kingdom, what I hope is a trilogy. I don't know, I can't find any evidence of book 3, but they both finish on cliffhangers and I hate them so much. I hate them so much that I love them incredibly. That is my emotions around these books. Both of these books have officially been chucked across my room because of how they end. Like oh god. So this book actually comes out on the 2nd of February and I cannot recommend these books enough. They just draw you into the story, the characters, everything about it. The world just sucks you in and then finishes and spits you out quite violently. The language in here is incredible. She has written these in such a way that just really capsulates you. Yes, there are times and in descriptions where it feels like she's opened a thesaurus and is just spitting out describing words, but it also doesn't really ruin it. It kind of fits because it fits with the characters and with the setting of the world for it to be written in that way. Both of these books I have rated 5 stars. Like, these have caused actual emotional and physical reactions from me. Do I know anything about book 3? No, I don't. I can't even find out if there's gonna be a book 3 and when it's gonna come out. I'm not happy about that at all. But it will probably mean that it's far enough away that I will reread all of them and be able to just read them all in one go, and the cliffhanger endings won't be quite so dramatic. But I could not recommend them more. Like I said, this Woven Kingdom series, 5 stars. 5 stars. Starting the year off strong. I have included 8 new books into my collection in January. The first book I bought was some book vouchers that I received for my birthday in November, and I always feel like when I get book vouchers from people that they should be spent on like special books, special editions or collector's editions, or just particularly beautiful books. I don't know, I just feel like that honours a book voucher far more than just buying a standard trade paperback. So I bought the illustrated version of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Did this initiate my reread of Harry Potter? 100%, you know that it did, because the only way to go through these books and to enjoy all the pictures is to obviously read them. This book is beautiful. Jim Kay has some absolutely beautiful illustrations in here, and I am so happy to add this. Do I officially want to get to the rest of the ones that are out? Yeah, I 100% do. The next books I received from HarperCollins Simon Schuster New Zealand. I obviously received these Infinite Threads, which, as you know, I've already read. I also have received 1,000 Heartbeats by Kiera Cass, who wrote the Selection books. I think this is a standalone, but every time I think a book is a standalone, it ends up being part of the series. I have not read the Selection, but I thought I would grab this and give it a go. The next book that I received was Soulmates by Susan Lee, which is a story based around Korean American characters. I think it was sold a bit like, if you love K-dramas and K-pop, you're probably going to enjoy this, and I really am enjoying romance. I'm kind of intrigued to read that one. The next ones are part of the 5 Crowns of Ochre series by A.K. Mulford. I already have the High Mountain Court on my shelf, but I also have gained The Witch's Blade, which is book 2, and The Rogue Crown, which is book 3. The next 3 are all books that I just bought from a book fair, and they are all books that I've already read throughout my life. First one is City of Flowers, book 3 in the Extravaganza series by Mary Hoffman. I love these books. Like, if you love Italy and you love fantasy and you love books that deal with parallel worlds, then I highly recommend these books. The next one is The Seeker by Margaret Boothy. I read these when I was probably at college. This is book 2 in the Watcher's Quest series. I remember these being quite strange, so I'm hoping that I can get my hand on The Watcher with book 1 and kind of reread them to actually officially decide if I want to keep these. I have a feeling this is probably the exact copy that I read, because this is Tauranga City Libraries has obviously gotten rid of it. I'm pretty sure I got it from Tauranga City Library. And the last one is The Dead of Night by John Marsden, book 2 in the Tomorrow series. I've read books 1, 2 and 3 of the series, and for whatever reason have never got further than that, so that is definitely something that I want to do. And the last thing that I want to talk about from January relating to books are the books that I am going to be unhauling from my collection, and the first one is Everything Everything. I'm not going to pick this up and reread it, so I'm more than happy to pass this on to somebody else. And the other one is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. Now I still have It Ends With Us, which is the first book in this duology, and I was quite excited about this book. I don't know, I wasn't wowed by it. First one, way better. This just kind of definitely felt like an afterthought, and that she was only doing it because people asked. If you want to see my full review of this book, then you can find it on my TikTok, so make sure you go check that out. So looking ahead to February and what I hope to read in the coming month, I highly doubt that it would be 6 books like what I managed to read in January, but I always plan on trying to read 6 books. I'm gonna start the month by finishing Harry Potter. The other books I'm planning on reading is I started reading The Improbable Life of Ricky Bird before I started reading Harry Potter, rereading Harry Potter, so I'm going to attempt to read and finish that one. Also on my list I have book 2 of the Amulet graphic novel series, The Stonekeeper's Curse, and the last one on my list for February is The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, which is a highly recommended book. That's all I have to say about this month in books. If you liked this video, then definitely make sure you give it a thumbs up, because that means so very much to me. And if you want more bookish content on a much more regular basis, then make sure that you follow me on Bookstagram and on BookTok. If you have any questions or any recommendations, or you would like some recommendations, then make sure you leave them in the comment section, because I'm always happy to help people try and find their books. And subscribe so that you can see all the videos that I post. I post every Wednesday at 7 PM New Zealand time. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you have a great week. Happy reading, everybody. Bye. This year, my goal is to read as many of my unread books as I possibly can. It's gonna be... I want to reread this. We've read that at least 6 times. I want to reread these. No. I want to reread these. And if we don't, I'm going to put us into the biggest reading slump of our lives. But all of the unread ones. Biggest reading slump ever. Okay, we'll read these. But you have to promise that that's it for the whole year once we reread these. Maybe. What do you mean by maybe? Maybe. Should we go read? Yeah. We'll go read these.